Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Dear Mr. President Donald Trump, I am a Nicaraguan born, but I'm also a U.S. citizen. When you announced your desire to run for the presidency of the United States of America, I joined you through prayers, through fasting, through warfare, spiritual warfare, because I knew what you were fighting against. It was not just a fight against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers of darkness. So I, as a theologian, as a person educated in theology in the United States of America, I knew exactly what you were up against. A lot of people don't really understand what's going on in not just the United States of America, but in the rest of the world. So I campaigned for you, Mr. President. I gave you my full commitment from day one to this day. And I know that you're not a bureaucrat. You're not a politician. Those well-trained to speak eloquent, but don't do anything, don't deliver. They're just good at deceiving, but don't deliver on their promises. I trust in you because you have been fulfilling your promises. You have been attacked day in and day out. But you have withstood all those attacks. And we're praying for you. We're fasting because we know that you have an amazing, huge task ahead of you. Now, as a Nicaraguan who was exiled from Nicaragua first in 1980, confiscated, my father was tortured, confiscated, incarcerated. Now, I was myself confiscated and persecuted politically in Nicaragua, exiled for the second time. We lost millions of dollars in a company that was seized by the government of Nicaragua through invented and all kinds of schemes that led us to bankruptcy and to be exiled from the country. Mr. President, but this is not about me or my father. This is about our people of Nicaragua. This is about the people of Venezuela and Cuba who continue to be repressed and killed, abused and tortured by these evil regimes, communist, socialist regimes. The problem is that we have people worse than ISIS, than the terrorist Islamic State of ISIS ruling Nicaragua, Venezuela, and Cuba. And there we have also Evo Morales in Bolivia, who wants to become the fourth regime. So, Mr. President, we know that you have a lot on your plate. Iran, North Korea, the trade war with China is not easy. You have been accused of Russian collusion, and you have been accused of a whole bunch of crap. Fake news. Definitely accused by fake news people. But just 2 days ago, one of my friends was killed by this government. He happened to be a United States citizen as well. A very good citizen, a Christian man, incarcerated, who was a pastor to young people in that prison. And he was shot by Daniel Ortega. He was killed by the regime of Nicaragua. We are tired of having all these meetings for over 1 year by the Organization of American States, by the United Nations, by the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights, by all these other countries in Latin America gathering around, holding all kinds of meetings and lunches and dinners and celebrations. They keep talking about our countries, about Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua, but nothing is being done in a concrete way. We speak about sanctions for Ortega, for his family, for those that work closely with them, but nothing has happened against this regime in Nicaragua. We know that Ortega's wife is a witch. She is the Jezebel of Nicaragua, and she goes through a lot. She does a lot of witchcraft, human sacrifices. She does all kinds of evil and demonic schemes and rituals to stop sanctions against them. But you, President Trump, you have a team of pastors and priests that come to the White House and to pray for you, that pray for you, I pray for you, I fast for you, because I believe in what you're doing. So I, as an American citizen, a Nicaraguan born, I am optimistic that you will do something about Nicaragua, Venezuela, and Cuba. We know that is not an easy task at all. But you have the intelligence and the wisdom that God grants you. You have a great team of people throughout the world praying for you. We are fully committed to praying for you, to backing you up, because we will go through this together through prayer and fasting. Prayer and fasting. But I'm concerned about Ortega in Nicaragua. He has gotten away for over 40 years now. When he came into power in 1979, he controlled Nicaragua and all the institutions, government institutions. Then he was kicked out through the Contras, financed by President Ronald Reagan. But that murderer, that killer got away from justice. He was let go. He was allowed to let go. He got away with murder, with war crimes. He came back to power now through all kinds of fraudulent schemes, through all kinds of tricks. And he's back in power, killing people and repressing. And we're hoping that you will help us overcome, because we're trusting that you have the capacity to meet with President Putin, with Xi Jinping of China. You have the ability, because you are a negotiator first and foremost. Yes, you are a peace man, a man of peace. And we trust you because you don't want to go around creating wars and havoc all over the world. You know that that's an evil stuff. You know that President Bush and Obama and Clinton were wrong in expanding in more wars where wars needed not to be created. But yes, you, and we're trusting that you can persuade Vladimir Putin and the president of China to find solutions. You are a great leader. Many presidents and leaders around the world trust you because they know that you're not a mere bureaucrat. You're not. You're not an eloquent bureaucrat. You're a man that knows that 2 + 2 is 4. You know exactly what needs to be done. Plus, we are all praying for you all over the world. We're praying for you for results in Nicaragua, Venezuela, and Cuba. And we're optimistic that you will resolve the problems with Russia and China, with North Korea, even with Iran. I trust that we will find solutions. So we're praying for you. Ortega continues to kill and repress our people, our young people, and torture, rape our young ladies who are in prison in Nicaragua. We're here waiting for orders. We're ready to take charge along with you to get these demons out of our countries. So thank you, Mr. President. We're praying for you, and we're ready. We're ready to get these evil people out of these countries. So God bless you, and God bless all the countries that believe in democracy and justice and freedom.